Thank you. Congratulations, Pasaratam. Thank you, Excellency. We once again all take our seats. And at this moment, Your Excellency, we would want to oblige you to receive remarks given to this occasion by the Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa, Her Excellency Omakadze T.R. Madvafas, on the repatriation of artifacts from the Republic of South Africa to Zimbabwe. Yes.
Your Excellency, President Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. The Excellencies here with us today, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests who are with us today on this great day. Your Excellency, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. South Africa is privileged today to witness the launch of the Zimbabwe Defense Force Heritage Monument at the Museum of African Liberation. South Africa congratulates you on this auspicious occasion, and we look forward to the final Zimbabwean Defense Force Exhibition Park. In September 2021, you sent the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, the Honorable Dr. Frederick Shava, to meet with His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, requesting the assistance and support of your South African brother towards the establishment of the Museum of African Liberation. Of course, assistance comes in the diverse forms, but he made specific reference to assistance in the form of availing military and civilian artifacts to the display at this Continental Museum to be constructed here in Harare. In that specific context, South Africa, heeded to your request, President Ramaphosa has agreed to the return of the decommissioned military and civilian artifacts. In this regard, we invite the Institute of African Knowledge to commence the coordination of the repatriation of artifacts of the Zimbabwean War of Liberation. My embassy is ready to render the necessary assistance in this regard. I would like to reiterate the enthusiasm and support of the President of the Republic of South Africa for this dynamic initiative. Over the years, there has been a tendency to focus only on cultural museums and not done much towards a museum that documents and preserves the history of the African liberation struggle. I therefore would like to take this opportunity to reaffirm my president's support and assistance towards establishing the Museum of African Liberation in Harare. Considering our shared history and solidarity, it is indeed a project that South Africa will be actively collaborating on. This commitment will only serve to further strengthen our bilateral relations. Although our stories may be specific to our individual experiences and histories, our destiny is shared. Therefore, I can attest that this exciting initiative serves also as a conduit for regional and continental integration, since we all fought our respective wars of our liberation together. I thank you.
Ambassador Madwa Fatsi, canceling off. At this moment, allow us, Your Excellency, to introduce the Minister of Defense and War Veterans Affairs, Honorable O. Mchunguri Kashiri, to come forward and make remarks and introduce you to address this august occasion. Honorable Minister.
Our Master of Ceremony, Reverend Damasani, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, Your Excellency, the South African Ambassador to Zimbabwe, the Chairman of INSTAC Board, Professor Simbi Mubako, Honorable Ministers here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Deputy Secretaries to Cabinet who are here present, our service chiefs, senior government officials, members of the Joshua Nkomo Foundation, all protocol observed. I feel very humbled and privileged to take this onerous task of introducing the guest of honor for this very important gathering. Firstly, I wish to congratulate the Institute of African Knowledge, INSTAC, for organizing this event, which I believe will go a long way in shaping the future of our nation, Zimbabwe, and indeed Africa at large. After this important event, surely the face of our nation will never be the same. Thank you, Your Excellency, Comrade President Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, for your able and visionary leadership. This gathering today is testimony to what is happening in the new dispensation, where various programs across the country are being implemented efficiently and effectively in response to the needs of the Zimbabwean citizenry. Before and after completion of the various projects here, immense benefits will be realized. We extend our profound appreciation to you, Your Excellency, under the new dispensation, for ensuring that platforms for Pan-Africanism are championed and accordingly enhanced. You have continued to work closely together with various African countries and other stakeholders to ensure that the African story particularly of the African liberation from colonial bondage, is correctly presented. Not only are you taking a holistic approach in supporting the cause of the Museum of African Liberation, but related developments in pursuit of the National Development Strategy 1 and 2 and Vision 2030 of an upper middle income economy. In this regard, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces of Zimbabwe, taking lessons from Africa and beyond, will continue to offer relentless support to the Museum of African Liberation as a national, regional, and global heritage. As you may appreciate, the Defense Forces of Zimbabwe is not just a military institution in isolation, but is part of the community. In this regard, the developments here will help to set straight the record that we are in defense of the people and for the people through our able and visionary leadership of one of the sons of the African soil, His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief, Comrade President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. Thank you, Your Excellency, for putting Zimbabwe into African Union Agenda 2063 and the SADC industrialization agenda, among others, as we are surely going to witness a gamut of socio-economic and cultural developments here. Finally, I'm pleased to introduce you to the epitome of Pan-Africanism, himself a freedom fighter with so many war stories to tell, a man who is ready to work 24/7 for the good of the Zimbabwean and African men and women and children. Your Excellency, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, I now have the great honor to invite you, Your Excellency, to address us. Your Excellency, sir.
May you be seated. Our Director of Ceremonies, Reverend Damasani, Vice President and Minister of Health and Child Care, Honorable General Retired Dr. C.D. Jane Chiwenga, Vice President, Second Secretary of ZANU-PF, Colonel Retired KCD Mohadi, the Minister of Defense and all Veterans Affairs, and Chairman of ZANU-PF, Honorable O.C. Zetu Chinguri Kashiri, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Advocate Denda, President of the Senate, Honorable Shimamona, the Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Malava, the Minister of State for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Senator Engineer Chidao, the Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, Honorable Kazembe, and the Honorable Ministers who are here, Chairman of the Institute of African Knowledge, Professor Sibimbako, and his team, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior government officials who are here, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. I am honored to address you all at this momentous and historic occasion as we launch the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Heritage Monument here at the Museum of African Liberation. The monument serves to immortalize and memorialize the supreme sacrifices made by our gallant sons and daughters to liberate our great country and our continent. This moment for the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and the Institute of African Knowledge also contributes to the realization of aspiration number 5 of the African Union Agenda 2063, an Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, values, and ethics. Zimbabwe remains privileged to be the host of the Museum of African Liberation, which provides Africa space to collectively write and tell its liberation story in its own way and perspective. The museum enables us to secure, preserve, and promote our rich collective heritage, arts, culture, and heritage as levers for building the Africa we all want. As Africa, none but ourselves has the responsibility to build our own continent. The construction of the Wall of Honor, which is part of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Monument, is commended as it consists of names of Africa's illustrious veterans of the liberation struggle. It takes into account the fact that Africa's liberation struggle and freedom was a culmination of synergies, collaboration, cooperation, and solidarity of various nations on the continent. The monument will therefore go a long way towards engraving the unity that exists within Africa. It further stands as a reminder of the Ubuntu philosophy, which says, I am because we are, and we are because I am. Progress that has been realized since the groundbreaking in December 2020 is in keeping with my administration's focus and resolve to implement and complete development projects and programs. I thus commend the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the Institute of African Knowledge, and other stakeholders for the unity of purpose, good workmanship, and determination, which has seen the results achieved to date. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as you may recall, the work we are witnessing today began with the publication and the joint launch of the first Africa Fact Book in September 2020. Thereafter, on 6 May this year, I endorsed the architectural designs for this project. This led to the commencement of the construction works, which we are witnessing here today. To date, various liberation heritage artifacts have been put on display. These include materials from the late national hero, Comrade General Josiah Magama Tengogara, Father Emmanuel Ribeiro, Comrade Lepo Takawira, and indeed the late Vice President, Comrade Simon Bengai Muzenda. But in addition to this, we have received today artifacts of our founding father, a national hero, Vice President Dr. Joshua Nkawugo Nongolonkomo Chigwechiteza. Meanwhile, my administration welcomes the commitment by the President of the Republic of South Africa, my dear brother, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, and his administration to facilitate the repatriation of artifacts that were removed from Zimbabwe by the Smith regime. More artifacts are also expected from across Africa and beyond. To this end, I once again make the emphatic call for the return of the remains of our iconic heroes, including Chief Makoni, Chief Chinengundu Mashamombe, and the Chief Shira, and other artifacts held hostage in foreign museums and the private galleries overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to express my gratitude to the government of the Swiss Confederation for their generous donation of ICT equipment for the Museum of African Liberation Project. This will enable the digital archiving of documents and other artifacts. I equally appreciate and acknowledge the support the project is receiving from the government of the People's Republic of China, the Russian Federation, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Republic of Namibia, as well as the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, this museum site, which spans 101 hectares, will be renamed the Liberation City. The city is envisaged to accommodate a host of facilities, including the museum itself, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Exhibition Park, a 5-star and a shopping mall, among other facilities. Investors in the tourism, hospitality, and the real estate sectors from across Africa are invited to come and be part of this landmark project on our continent. It is also pleasing that the National Social Security Authority, NASA, has indicated its investment in the shopping mall. The decision to call the shopping mall the Liberation Mall is apt and encapsulates the spirit behind this project. I also exhort the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works, together with the City of Harare, to consider renaming Golden Quarry Way along this museum is located in a manner that resonates with the liberation of Africa. As I conclude, allow me to once again urge the nation to remain on guard and adhering to the COVID-19 public health protocols and guidelines. All those who are yet to be vaccinated must get vaccinated, be jabbed. This is not only good for Zimbabwe and our economy, but for Africa and beyond. No one is safe until everyone is safe. Finally, I applaud the chairman of the Institute of African Knowledge, Professor Sibimbako, and his team for the commendable milestones achieved to date on this project. Hard, honest work and results-oriented culture must continue to guide us and guide you also as you stay the course in the implementation of this strategic continental project here in Zimbabwe. With these remarks, it is now my pleasure and honor to declare the Zimbabwe Defense Forces Heritage Monument officially launched, and to wish you all Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2022. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. And thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will now call upon the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of African Knowledge, Ambassador Kwame Mzawazi, to come forward and present the vote of thanks. Ambassador.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, government ministers, members of the diplomatic community, the Joshua Nkomo Foundation, ladies and gentlemen, service chiefs, and all those gathered here, the Institute of African Knowledge here offers its profound gratitude for finding time to come and be part of this very important occasion that we did face today. Your Excellency, the Institute of African Knowledge would like to thank you for being a Genesis chapter 1 kind of a president. Genesis chapter 1 says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. We thank you for following that path. Where you say, let there be a bridge, there is a bridge. Where you say, let there be rehabilitation of roads that have been killed by retrogressive municipalities, we see it happening. Where you say, let there be a museum, there is a museum, Your Excellency. This is the Genesis chapter 1 kind of a president. We thank you also for leading with a new culture of ballistic implementation. I, of course, do not apologize. Here at Instac, we call it ruthless implementation. But ballistic implementation means when projects are supposed to be done, they be done in the time, in the manner that they have been declared and decided to occur. And we know that one of the pandemics we are fighting here at Instac is a pandemic of meetings, workshops, conferences, which is inconsistent with Genesis chapter 1. We thank that. You see, Excellency, I was frustrated last week. I called 10 people. These are colleagues here at Instac, directors in government, and even other senior officials, 10 of them. 9 of them said one line, like they had practiced it. It was, I'm in a meeting. The country is always in a meeting. But in the new dispensation, through your ballistic implementation approach, we are learning to do things better, faster, and in a more efficient manner. Genesis chapter 1, when God said, let there be light, I'm glad there was light. In other circumstances, it would have been, God said, let there be light, and there was a pre-feasibility study, which is not okay. Your Excellency, we thank you for rising to the occasion on the shoulders of great African giants to champion the African voice, the Black voice. We thank you for guiding us to realize that the greatest time to be alive as an African is in fact today. This is because it is a time for reclaiming our history, reclaiming our heritage, reclaiming our resources, and rediscovering the power of Africanness and retelling our story ourselves. In this very beautiful journey, Your Excellency, you are leading the agenda at the national stage and indeed at the international stage. The Museum of African Liberation will become the venue for the rejuvenation of the African soul and the collective spirit of humanity as we put the record straight. As we remind the world that Africa is the motherland for all peoples of the world. The oldest civilizations on record, Your Excellency, are African. With those words, we would like to thank you as the Institute of African Knowledge. You have already been wished Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Your Excellency, we assure you we will continue with ballistic implementation and hope the next time you come, we will be opening the museum. I thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Mzawazi. At this moment, Your Excellency, we come to the end of today's proceedings. And we want to say very soon we'll be meeting again when we are declaring the actual museum open. So in the continental manner, may I say, Zikomo kwambili, muito obrigado, gracias, shukran, tinotenda, siyabonga, ralebonga. Thank you.